Hi guys, welcome to my tutorial. This is one of my first looks for Halloween. It's a sugar skull. So rather than just show you it, let's rewind and I'll show you how we get to this. Okay, so first up we're going to prep the skin. I'm using this trio from Smashbox. I'm taking the photo finish primer all over my face to act as a base for all the makeup we're going to build up. And then taking the lid primer all over my top lid to my brow bone. And then also going under the eye, as we'll be applying eyeshadow all over this area for the look. Next up is foundation. I'm using one that's a few shades lighter than my natural skin tone, stolen from my mum, who's a lot fairer than me. You could just as easily opt for a white face paint if you prefer. I didn't because my skin's a little sensitive to it. So I'm applying the foundation with my fingers, almost like a lotion, because I find it easier and quicker to get good coverage. But use what you're comfortable with. I'm applying 2 coats to the whole face, taking it down the neck, so depending on your costume, you might want to take it a bit further, onto your shoulders maybe, so it all blends in. Try avoiding the whole eye area if you can, because that's going to be covered by eyeshadow. I'm using a white powder to set my foundation, and also give a more skull-like finish. Pressing motions work best for this, so don't ruin your smooth base you've just created. Okay, the eyes are one of the key features of this look. I'm using a bright turquoise colour eyeliner from Urban Decay to create the outline. I love this colour, but honestly any colour works for a sugar skull, so go wild, choose whatever you fancy. For the shape, my tip is to use your natural eye shape. So if you use your eyebrow to guide you and the outline of your socket, it's easier to achieve a symmetrical look. I've stuck to a roughly traditional shape here, but you could experiment and try something different. Maybe a heart or a diamond shape could look really cool. Now, you can tell I'm new to this because I didn't show you the products, I'm really sorry. I've listed all the products in the description below, however, and I'll try and get my head around this for next time. But anyway, I'm using a turquoise shadow to fill in the shape I created, all the way around, including the brows and under the eye area. To make the colour really pop, I'm using Barry M Dazzle Dust. I absolutely love these because they're really pigmented but also a little sparkly, so it's perfect for a Halloween look. I'm concentrating this first shade to the inner side of the shape, taking it about halfway across the lid and below the eye. Now I'm taking an electric blue from the same range along the rest of the eyelid, kind of a C shape around the outer eye. I'm taking a large powder brush to sweep away the fallout. Now I'm taking a black shadow from Kiko, which has a slight blue glitter to it and works well with the colour I've used already. I'm using it to shade the outer eye. It's not a traditional or smoky eye and it doesn't have to be perfectly neat, it's just to add some depth. Blend it using a brush or your finger, or both like I did. I'm also taking the same shadow around the edge of the shape, again for some subtle depth to the skull's socket. Didn't go crazy with this shadowing because a sugar skull is a little bit brighter than a traditional skull. Right, now here's the fiddly bit. I'm using some stick-on gems that I bought from a craft shop in this cool purpley pink colour. It contrasts really nicely with the turquoise. Basically stick them all around each eye. But if I have one tip for you here, it would be to use bigger gems because this took absolutely forever. For eyeliner, I'm using a liquid eyeliner from Miss Sporty, a great budget brand, and this is actually waterproof, so it'll be perfect if you're going to be using it for a night out. I'm keeping it pretty simple with a thin kind of line, but you could wing it out if you'd prefer. On my lower lash line and waterline, I'm using another Urban Decay pencil liner, and this is colour 0. A bit of mascara on top and bottom lashes, and that's the eyes pretty much done for now. We're going to go in with some contours now. Looking at the skull, they usually have hollows below the cheekbone area. Now I don't have great cheekbones, so I'm going to have to cheat here. Using the blue Dazzle Dust powder again to stay in with the colour theme, I'm carving out a line across my cheek and then taking it up to my temple and down the side of my face, almost like a 3 shape on each side. I'm also using this colour on the bottom of my nose, as this will become the nasal cavity to our skull. Take the colour around the bottom of the jaw and also down the neck in 2 lines and blend, blend, blend using a fluffy brush. I'm repeating the same process with my purple Dazzle Dust around the same areas. I chose to do this, but you don't have to. I just like the way the 2 colours blend and it ties the colours of the rest of my face in quite well. Now using a neon pink shadow, I'm going in almost as a highlighter on the apples of my cheek, bridge of my nose, forehead and chin areas. To create my skull's jawline, I'm marking out a line across my cheek. I'm starting where my cheek indents when I smile and then going across to around mid-ear height. I'm using black shadow, but as you can see, really light brush strokes here. Again, this is because I want to keep the overall look bright and not as dark as a traditional skull. I've also shaded and created small circles at the end of each line. This is where the jaw would hollow. For the lips, I'm using a white cream paint because I wanted to create a cancelled out look to the lips, like they don't exist. You might prefer to use a lipstick and bright colours, which could look really good for a sugar skull. After whitening out the lip, I'm going to take my eyeliner pencil and create some thin lines in the centre of my lips to create a hollow for the mouth. The teeth are simply lines across the top to the lower lip. So start from the centre and work your way up to the small circles we'd created on our jaw earlier. Just make the lines smaller as you work outward. Use a small eyeliner brush, soften the lines, and then if you take some white eyeshadow, you can create some highlights for the teeth. Okay, so here's the fun bit, and actually what I really love about this look, because it's so individual. Take an eyeliner or a face paint pen and get creative, basically. I'm actually using an Ico eyeliner pen that I got free in a magazine. When you're drawing the design, use the centre to help get some symmetry. I'm actually going to go over the lines with some of the blue eyeshadow I used earlier to soften it down. It also gives it quite a cool 3D look, which isn't coming across quite as well on the camera, but it does look really good in real life. I'm filling in using pink and purple eyeshadows and then using the leftover gems from the eyes around certain areas. There's loads of different nose shapes you can use for this skeleton. I'm going to go for 2 upside down V-like shapes, leaving a gap in the middle for mine. Draw them out and then simply colour them in. Finally, I've added some contact lenses and some lashes, and I'm now dressing my hair with flowers and some cute sparkly butterflies that I got from the range. Another option is to wear your hair down. Personally, I like this because the messier the better for this look. I'd recommend taking more time than I have. I'm using a white hairspray which is really cheap from Superdrug, spraying it randomly through my hair, concentrating on the pieces nearer to my face to frame it. Play around until you're happy with it, and voila! I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you thought using the comments box below. I've got a few more Halloween looks coming soon, so be sure to hit subscribe. Thank you!